What is going on, guys? And today I'm going to be telling you the top 5 ways that you can invest. So this is going to be a couple different things. Obviously, there's 5 different options here. Not necessarily every way you can invest. There's so many different ways to invest. And I'm not specifically talking about my number one here. They're not in any particular order, and I'll get into that. I will just tell you right now, gold and silver and precious metals will not be on this list. Not a fan of those. I got to be 100% honest. Those are for fear-mongering people, and that's when gold and silver value rises, when people are scared that there's going to be a recession, and people are scared into buying gold and silver. Otherwise, the value does not increase or decrease. So I'm not a fan of gold and silver. So personally, I say I'm leaving that out of my list. I've got better options. We're going to go ahead and start with option number 1. And that's going to be the stock market. So you can invest money in the stock market, and I would say this is most likely one of the best options if you're looking to invest in some manner, would be to get in the market. I think everyone should be in the market in some aspect. What amount that should be, what percentage of income, whatever that should be, I think everyone should be in the market in some aspect, whether it's 401k, IRA, or a normal brokerage account. I think in any manner that you can get in the market, it's worth doing. I personally would advise obviously being in the market and having a 401k, potentially also a Roth IRA. I think that's an option as well for you. But the reason I like investing in the market so much, the stock market, is because you don't necessarily have to have a minimum amount to start investing. Some brokerages, it entirely depends on where you go. They will charge a commission fee, so they do incentivize less purchases and less sales in total. So those commission fees are going to charge you per transaction. If that's the case, if your brokerage is doing transaction fees, which guaranteed a vast majority of them are, the best way around that is to do less purchases and larger purchases as is. So you want to buy a lot of this one stock that you're interested in at once, rather than doing a dollar cost average strategy where you keep buying gradually if it's lower. So rather than gradual buying, you're going to buy just in bulk. And I think that's a very good strategy personally. Buying in bulk can be nice if you set yourself a limit price, and you say at this price I'm going to buy this many shares. I think that's very good because it can keep you strict to what you set as your goal, and you don't want to pay that extra commission fee, so you definitely want to stick to that goal you set out. On the other hand, I also like dollar cost averaging, where if a stock goes down, you gradually lower that dollar cost average for what you paid for it by buying at lower prices. Both are perfectly reasonable options. It depends on your platform and what kind of commission fees they're charging and what you're interested in. So I would say stock market investing in any manner. Obviously 401k, you just put it in. Most people just let it sit there until they retire. It's fantastic. If you're not investing in a 401k right now, you need to. It'll get you set up for the rest of your life for when you retire, and you'll be much happier about it now. If you may find if you get hit by $50 every paycheck or something, I don't know if it's going to hurt you right now in the short term. If it is, that's not obviously great, but it's 100% worth it in the long run when you're not working until you're 80 years old. You're going to want to be able to retire, and you do that through having a 401k. So you're going to want to keep investing in that 401k as young as possible. If your job offers some sort of 401k match plan, match that 401k. Whatever percentage they'll match you, you need to do it, because that is legitimately doubling your money for free. And on top of that, you just get normal gains from having your money in the market. But if they're matching your money, it's completely free, and you are doubling your money just by putting out some money from your paycheck. Fantastic. So I would say definitely get into a 401k, but other than that, have your own personal brokerage account, and you're going to want to do investing on your own. To what extent you do that and what amount, it's entirely up to you. But that's just an option. I think that'll be it for as far as I want to explain in terms of stock market. It's my main method of investing right now. So I'm going to go into option number 2 here. Option number 2 is one that takes a lot more capital in order to get involved with. That's going to be real estate investing. So real estate investing can be in a couple ways. It could be through renting properties you own, which is certainly an option. You have to own a property for that, obviously. If you buy a house and you rent it out, that is real estate investing. Which you're more than welcome to if you want to be the landlord of that area. And a lot of people do it, and there's a lot of money to be made there. Another option also would be you buying a house and then flipping that house and selling it. That's another way you can invest in real estate that I believe is it's a great option. Investing that way is good. Normally that involves timing the market, though. I personally would not get into real estate investing currently in terms of purchasing properties. Housing values are very high right now. And I don't think it's a great time to get in. I don't think there's going to be that much chance for potential upside unless you're flipping a house majorly. There's a lot of money in flipping houses, a lot of margin to be made. Same thing as building your own house. That's also real estate investing. If you buy the land and build your own house, you'll save yourself a lot of money, and you can sell it for a lot more money if that's the case too. So real estate investing takes a lot of money to get into, but you can make a lot of money in it as well. So I think real estate investing is a great option. If you have time to look into it more, certainly do if you have the capital to get started. So my third option, it is definitely a different one, a little more modern of an option. It's similar to that line of stock market investing, which obviously I poo-pooed on gold and silver earlier, but number 3, I'm going to go for cryptocurrency. Is a relatively new form of money. I can't say money. It's necessarily it's a valued commodity. It's hard to necessarily pinpoint anything regarding these cryptocurrencies because it's such a wild market with them. Obviously, if you look at success stories like Bitcoin, Bitcoin made a lot of people rich. People invested in Bitcoin early on and saw what was once valued at a few cents, few pennies, turned into $17,000 for a single Bitcoin. It's upwards of $20,000. Excuse that cough. Something in my throat. Cryptocurrencies, there's still money to be made, even though they reached their peaks a couple of years ago, and since then have fallen down quite a bit to still what I would say is a hard level because it's not a backed currency, and it's hard to really put a value on it or what could cause something to increase in value. But I know for a fact there's a lot of money that can be made in cryptocurrency. Facebook's Project Libra, potentially coming out, could honestly increase the value of nearly every, I can't say nearly every, there's so many cryptocurrencies out there, but a lot of the major cryptocurrencies could see a lot more traffic by Facebook's Project Libra if it becomes more commonly accepted and used around the world. And in businesses, then other stores might start accepting different currencies, such as Bitcoin, such as Ripple, Stellar, a couple of these major ones that could potentially see that. And if that happens, the value of these certainly will rise, and we certainly will see some price increases. Some of them are major. It all depends on the day. Crypto market's going 24/7. There's never a break on crypto markets. It's always something you need to always look at prices. If you want to get involved, it's obviously a high-risk game, but I think there's a lot of money that can be made here. My mic has attacked me again. 2 videos in a row. That's exciting. Now I'm going to get into option number 4, which I'll actually show you a real image for once instead of the still image, so don't worry. We're going to go ahead and get it pulled up. Number 4, it's going to be collectible items. So, collectible items. Right here, I have a list of Funko Pops. I personally do not do this, but collectible items is certainly a way you can invest your money. So these things, obviously, it all depends on finding a buyer on these. So what brings the value is not necessarily what someone tries to sell it at, it's what someone buys it at. So you can try to sell something, let's say something you got from 1950 as a collectible Hot Wheel or something. Could be very valuable, but it entirely depends on what someone's willing to pay for it, not what you think it's worth. And Funko Pops are a crazy example of that. Little things normally you could see at the store for 20, 30 bucks. And then somehow you get a list of these where you've turned that 20, 25 bucks, 30 bucks into $13,000 because they were a limited selection of them and someone really wanted it and they were willing to pay that amount. Obviously Dumbo, Boo Berry, everyone's favorite cereal back in the day. Blueberry cereal with some marshmallows, kind of like a Blueberry Lucky Charms kind of deal. Purple Haze, Chase, sounds like drug-induced fever. Don't want to talk about that. Dumbo Gold, so a golden Dumbo. Another Clockwork Orange. Everyone's favorite Ken Griffey Jr. What a guy. Guy can play some baseball, that's for sure. Oh, sorry. Green Lantern. Action figures. So there's a lot of these Funko Pops. A lot of them are usually, the Marvel ones really have taken off in value. And people have made a lot of money just off of their Funko Pops. There's actually a market, an application that can be used to track the values of these. You can see when things go up and down, so it's pretty exciting. If it's something you want to get into, I don't personally invest in these types of collectible items. I, on the other hand, am it's weird, I'm a card collector. So I pulled up a list here of the top 10 football cards sold. These are just football cards, and of all cards, I think football cards typically are valued least in terms of dollar amount. So you could see, if we're talking about basketball, a Michael Jordan card, I've seen some that are upwards of $100,000. So just being 100% honest, there's a lot of money that can happen in collectible cards, and it's not necessarily the case anymore. A lot of these cards are from when they didn't make but a few of a certain kind of cards. Now there's so many different makers of cards that make countless versions of them and just countless total cards of that kind, to where there's not really much value there. Where you get value though would be things like rookie cards, limited edition cards, college cards for athletes who turn professional and end up being like Hall of Famers. A good way to make an investment here in terms of cards would be to purchase, and this is just gambling at this point, purchase someone's college card or rookie card and have them sign it. If they turn into someone in the future, someone big for the sport, I'm just going to tell you right now, you've definitely made some money. As far as what that money is, it's going to be hard to say. It's probably not going to be Chuck Bednarik card for $30,000, or a Peyton Manning card for $42,000, autographed Peyton Manning. Again, this rookie card, signed. Rookie cards being signed are definitely what you're looking for. Bobby Lane, Night Train, baby. No, just kidding. Uh, Sid Luckman, what? For $46,000. Goodness. A Jim Thorpe card for $85,000. I mean, these are cards that are super highly collectible. They were made so long ago. Obviously, you won't be expecting values like this, but you could see it. You could certainly see it. It's going to be very rare, but you need a certainly special card. So I would say in terms of collectible items, you're going to need to invest in rookie cards, which obviously sometimes are already expensive. They're a very popular athlete. Then my goodness, they could be worth a lot already as is. So that's going to be it for the collectible card discussion. My final method, as I'm going to go ahead and bring you back up here to your normal stock image. Sorry about that poor screen switches. Not quite a master at this, but it's there. So we're going to go ahead and talk about investing in yourself. Now, there's so many ways you can invest in yourself, and I think this is one of the most important types of investing you can do. It doesn't necessarily have to be a monetary investment in yourself. It can be any kind of investment. You always need to make yourself a priority in any aspect. Obviously, I would say one way in terms of investing in yourself would be getting an education. Not just necessarily a high school diploma. Obviously, that's something majority of people get. But further education certainly is a great investment in yourself. Just if you look in terms of average salaries of people with and without degrees, it's a pretty significant difference. So investing in that education can help you get better jobs, and you can hold better jobs as well and move up further. It's also just education to have that makes you more intelligent as a person, and I think there's benefit to that. Which would bring me to another point of investing in education would just be your own personal education. If you're not currently doing school and don't want to do school, try to pick up a trade or try to learn something, whether it be something like pottery or painting. It's always something important just to widen your skill range and learn new things. It keeps your brain going and willing to, a lot more able to adapt to newer situations if you're able to take on uncomfortable situations like that. I think it's definitely, I've personally, if we're talking about me, I've been trying to learn programming, computer programming recently. It's been going okay in my spare time that I have. I don't have too much, but in my spare time I've been trying to take classes on computer programming to try to learn that. Obviously, I still go to school as is, so it's difficult to find that time between school and work. But anytime I have that I'm not doing too much, I want to spend that time investing in myself in terms of that education, because it's something I could use at some point. You never know when you might need it. It's good to have. Obviously, investing in your health, not only physical, mental health. You want to make sure you're in a good mental state, keep yourself happy, and investing in a good physical state too, going to the doctor, doing physical therapies when needed, keeping yourself in shape by running, working out. This is fantastic. You'll benefit from it definitely in the long run if you keep at it and keep working. There's so many different ways to invest in yourself. I think it's something you always have to think about, and I think it's probably the best way to actually invest, and you don't necessarily have to spend money to invest in yourself. So that's something to think about too, but always consider yourself in that. I think that's really all I have to do. Those are my top 5 picks for ways to invest, and I hope you liked it. Thank you.